Today's questions take us into the truth, half-truths, and the moments when they all catch up with us, because they do. Whether it's a secret you stumble into or one you've been holding on to, the fallout can be confusing.
Yeah, so how do you know how to move forward when honesty gets complicated? Luckily, we have some expert advice. Natalie Bencivenga is here to help us navigate these very tricky waters.
Back.
Yes, you're back.
We
missed me.
We did miss you. All right, so let's get right into these situations, because these are it's a little bit of drama here. So I recently found out that I was adopted. I'm 24 years old, and I would have never known. But I took one of those DNA tests. My parents have never mentioned this to me, and no one in my family has either. I only did the test out of curiosity when my girlfriend decided to do it. But this is just a whole other level I was not expecting. What should I do? Boy.
Yeah, this one kind of threw me for a loop because, you know, I think we've all grown up where we've told our siblings at least once
they were adopted,
you know.
Yeah.
But sorry about that, Nick. But to experience that in real life and to actually find out that you are adopted, I think the shock of that would be the first thing. Then you'd have to accept the grief of it, that you thought your biological parents are not your biological parents. And then you'd probably be moving through some anger and betrayal. And so to me, it's like, I don't know where this person is in this process, but if there was ever a time for family therapy, this is the time. There's a lot of layers to this.
Well, and I think with adoptions, I mean, you can choose to have a private adoption for a number of reasons. So that could be the case, and I think some families fall into this. When is the perfect time to tell our children, are we going to? They make that decision based on, hopefully, what they think is the best thing to do in whatever situation they're in. I do think this becomes really hard, though, because of the increase in all of these DNA tests that we can do. I think it's really hard to keep stuff like that private anymore.
And I don't know if ethically it's a good thing to do, because just for medical reasons, you know, just for things like that, family planning purposes, there's so many things that I think connect people to their own sense of heritage and sense of self, and to feel as though your whole life is sort of this lie in a way, would really create just a psychological break. And so I think for the health of his relationship or their relationship with their family and with themselves, they really need to address this, because to your point, I don't think the parents did this with any malicious intent. But the way in which we thought about adoption 30 years ago is not how we think of adoption now. It's becoming much more of a transparent process for this reason.
And really quickly, far too often, this has happened to people in my circle. Do you find that there is a good age to talk about this?
I think it's really dependent on the child and the relationship that they have with their parental figures. But I think once they're at an age where they can understand these things, and that differs, especially girls and boys. But that's, once again, a reason that you should be engaging in kind of a family therapy or be in touch with a therapist when you're going through the adoption process, because each situation is different.
It's like as soon as they start asking about differences in other families, oh, they don't have a daddy, they have two daddies, they have one mommy.
There's age-appropriate ways to handle this, but to just not address it and then so blindly, that feels intense.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time for this next one, but I think this one is really interesting. A dating situation where a woman said that she was out on her first date with her now boyfriend of 2 years. She's been in this relationship together. Actually, I'm giving them genders, but I don't have that. I don't know why. This person said, I had a business degree, never actually finished it. I panicked, because he was graduating law school and I felt insecure. Now 2 years into a serious relationship, talking about moving in together. This person is reluctant about telling the truth. Employed, haven't lied about anything else. I find this to be really interesting. I think you just own up to it.
You got to own up to it. I said it's not
even that big of a deal.
This is not a big deal. This person's probably mostly embarrassed at this point. But I think the harm in not talking about it is they're going to find out eventually, and then it's going to be like, what else have you been hiding? Which is not the case here. So if you guys are both in long-term relationships, the more you can go through things and get over them, the deeper the bonds, the more vulnerability that leads to deeper intimacy. This is a test. So if they're getting really serious, if they can weather this, and if her partner can go, it's okay, I'm glad you told me. If that's the reaction, then this is a good situation.
I think it would have a much bigger impact if he finds out
in
another way. That's not coming from her. That's where it's gonna.
Just tell him the truth.
But this person did go to business school. They just didn't finish their degree. So it's not like, I don't know.
It's like a half lie.
I don't know.
It's a lie? What's a half lie?
It doesn't even feel like that big of a deal if you ask me.
No. But
have the conversation anyway.
Yes. Thanks, Nat.
Always.
All right, if you would like to read more of the Ask Natalie advice column, we're going to link you up on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.
And do you have your phone ready? If not, get it out right now because you can help decide a topic that Natalie talks about the next time she's on the show. First up, a girlfriend who worried her boyfriend's work life is getting a little too important. He texts his coworker goodnight every night before bed, always with a special emoji. Yeah, seems weird, right?
Nope.
Is this just friendly or is the boyfriend crossing a line?
Crossing a line, I think. Okay, and your second option's a husband who thinks his marriage may be drifting. She says it's work stress, but she's dressing up more to go to the office, guarding her phone, and he's starting to fear the worst. Is this really stress or a sign of something deeper? You can vote by scanning the QR code or going to kdka.com/connect.
All right, and we will see you next time, Natalie. So good to see you as always. And still to come on Talk Pittsburgh, Martha Stewart is opening up on a surprising topic, her funeral. It's something we've all thought about, but she's putting thoughts into words. What did she find out? What did she have to say? We're going to find out after the break.